then after we speak with Dan, we have friends of ours from the Wilmington Drama League.
Yes.
Have you been to the Wilmington Drama League yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to go see.
So we're going to go see Misery. You'll be my date. I'll
this
take
weekend,
you.
let's go.
This weekend we're going to go. So we have members of the cast and crew, 2 cast members and the director of Misery, which opens this Friday and it runs this weekend and next weekend at the Wilmington Drama League. So we are going to talk about a fun way to kick off the Halloween spirit with Misery. So we'll have those interviews coming right up. A Good Morning Wilmington will return after these messages. Stay with us.
Have to have our own show, buddy.
It's been amazing. We have more guests coming up. Ready? All right. So
more theater. More
we have the director and 2 of the cast members from the upcoming Wilmington Drama League production of Misery. So please welcome the director and 2 of our cast members. Welcome to Good Morning Wilmington.
Thank you so much for being with us. Tell us, please introduce yourselves. Tell us the role or the role that you're playing in the production or your role.
Okay, I'm Joe Pukach. I'm the director of the show.
Excellent, Joe. Thank you so much for being with us.
I'm Kelly Poshtan, and I play Annie Wilkes.
Annie.
I'm Dan Harkins. I play Buster.
Fabulous.
And we were missing one cast member. We should probably point that out, right?
Yeah, we were
People that
missing
follow
our-
the movie, right? Okay.
We were
He
missing
wasn't
our
able
Paul.
to be here, but if you have to. It's a tease. Go see the show. You'll see him.
Yes.
So thank you all for being here. Misery is just a huge phenomenon around Halloween, right? It kicks off. Have you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie. I have read the book.
Okay, have you seen
I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I think he's such an incredible writer. And I've never seen the stage play of Misery, and I think that just sounds like such an exciting way to experience it. Having seen what Kathy Bates did, having read it and kind of envisioned it in my own mind, reading it, I'm so fascinated to see what you all will do to bring it to life.
So I have to tell you, I've worked with Joe before. I've known Joe for a couple of years now. Joe has directed many, many, many shows around the area.
Fantastic.
Joe has directed many shows, not just at Wilmington Drama League, but other theaters around the area as well. He had the misery of having to direct me last year.
Get out of
Poor
here.
guy.
Look
Poor
at that
guy.
plug. Did you
Yes,
see
right. Yeah. So Joe, what we know horror is one of your passions, right? Why Misery? Why did you pick it? How did that all come about?
Well, when it came out a couple of years ago, it was on Broadway. It was one of the first first plays that Bruce Willis was actually a part of, and there was the old story about he had the earpiece.
I heard that.
Because he couldn't remember his lines, which obviously we know now was because of his medical condition.
Oh, yes.
But he would be doing the show and pick up police scanners and stuff. So he would be doing his lines and all of a sudden be like, perpetrators running down the street. So that was sort of like a joke thing.
Yeah,
But
that's wild.
the show itself was not a huge hit, but it was still on Broadway. Laurie Metcalf from Roseanne was Annie, and William Goldman, who wrote the actual screenplay for the movie, wrote the screenplay. So it follows the movie very closely.
Okay.
There were a number of changes from the book. They had to tone some stuff down, obviously, but there's still a lot of horror and tension that they retained from it.
Yes.
Has this been a bucket list show for you to do?
It really has.
Has it? Okay.
I kind of stalked it. If you know anything about the way plays are on Broadway or wherever they're big, and then it takes a couple of years for the publishing companies to get it. They have to get the rights. They have to make sure everything's clearance. And there was hung up on a couple songs that are very important for the show. So I was watching Dramatist's website for years and years, and then it finally popped up, and I jumped on it and talked to our friends over at Drama League, and were able to be like, hey, this would be a great Halloween show. And they were on board, and we've been on it
brilliant.
and opening in 4 days. So
I can't wait. I have to tell you, I am rehearsing for a show later on, in a couple of shows later. So we're rehearsing in the lobby, and all we'll hear are like massive screams from inside the theater, like massive screams, and we're all like, oh god. So we're rehearsing 9 to 5. So we're all like, ah. And they're like just like bloody death screams, and the other we're like, oh wow, this is very different. So it's very funny to be a part. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go down the line and just say if you can tell us a little bit about yourself. Is this your first time performing at Wilmington Drama League? It's an institution here in Wilmington. I believe is it 90th? 80th? We're close to the end.
up there, right?
Yeah.
And
The theater started 1940 was the first
Okay,
first
so we're
show.
not quite. Okay.
But that's the first show in this building.
God, okay.
And originally it started at 18th and Market Street, in the old Mill Theater, and that was in 1934, I believe.
Wow. All right.
Let me check my notes.
So we're almost getting to the 100
The
years.
legacy.
It really is.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. If you haven't seen a show, we'll go see this
We're
together.
going to see
but
Misery.
yes,
I'm very
exactly.
excited.
Yes. So please tell us a little bit more about you. Have you done plays before or musicals at Wilmington Drama League, and why interest in Misery?
I actually have been volunteering at the Drama League since 2014, actually, but primarily work with children and work directing children's plays and mentoring teens. And before the pandemic, most of my acting was through improv. I was a member of an improv group for a number of years. And after the pandemic ended, I did not really get back into the improv, but stayed with the directing at the Drama League, but started getting an itch to start acting again, and nobody wants me singing on stage.
Me neither.
So when I saw Misery was coming up, I was like, oh, that would be a fantastic opportunity for me to sort of get back into auditioning. No thoughts whatsoever that I would get the part, but I knew Joe from working with him previously, and our paths would cross at the Drama League, and I figured I would go audition, and when I ultimately didn't get cast, I could go to Joe and be like, hey, can you give me some feedback, because I would like to continue auditioning. And here we are.
But then she showed up and she ate. She
Right.
demolished the competition. She was hands down Annie Wilkes. I love that. Okay, I'm so interested in this character because we mentioned the screams. We mentioned how horrifying it is, but also so much of the horror from Misery comes from the subtlety and the quietness, right? So can you tell us a little bit about building that tension in the character of Annie Wilkes? How do you come into that character?
She is a challenging character to play because, if you read the book, you get a little bit more of her backstory than is released in the stage version. But she ultimately has a lot of idiosyncrasies with her, and at times she can be very friendly and she can be very kind. But then something happens and a switch gets flipped, and she very quickly turns to that, that evil personality, just that horror person, and so to have that switch and to be able to do it on stage very quickly.
To access that yourself.
Yes, yeah, especially again, mostly children I work with. And several of them have, Miss Kelly, we want to come see you. And I'm like, no.
Not this one, right?
Not at all. But yeah, I love being able to play her, and I'm so thankful for Joe and the production crew for giving me this opportunity. Because I tend to, as an actor, I like being able to play things that are very different from me. Because, you don't get, obviously I'm not walking around, being mean to people, but, not all the time. So it is a fun opportunity to be able to do something just a little outside your comfort zone.
Absolutely, to explore that side of yourself.
Yes.
Right? That's incredible.
And we try to use. A lot of people are scared on stage
Sure.
to have silence.
Sure.
And silence is so beneficial, especially with horror, because you want to hear those creaks. You want to hear, and you want the mind to kind of take over what the horror is.
And it builds
because your
that
brain
tension.
is going to be 10 times worse than whatever you might see or hear.
That's exactly right.
And we've had those moments where I've told them, and they're like, Joe, I don't want to pause this long. I'm like, no, you want to.
Yeah.
You want that to soak in. You want the audience to feel that unease.
I love that about theater, like that really collaborative nature where you're feeling that moment and you can get the eyes of what the audience experience is going to be like and make it even more effective. That's really tremendous. I'm so excited about the way that y'all are working together. Now, Buster is the character's name?
Yes.
I have to be honest with you, I don't really remember Buster in the show. Tell me about the character of Buster.
Buster is on stage a few times.
Yeah.
And since you don't remember him, I'm going to let it be a surprise.
Okay.
That's a tease.
Good, that's a teaser.
That's a tease. All right.
That is so good. Good. Okay, tell us about the show opens this weekend, is that right?
Opens this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, matinee, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, matinee. So this weekend, you can have your Halloween parties, go out, have some drinks beforehand, and then come and get scared in theater.
What could be better? What could be better? It's going to be so exciting. So where do people get tickets?
They can go to the website.
Yeah, it's WilmingtonDramaLeague.org.
Excellent.
And then go
And
to
you
the
can
box
order
office.
tickets online. I think they can also call and order tickets. I think you can pay online or
Gorge.
pay at the box office.
Give me like a
when you come
ticket
in.
price range. What are we looking at?
I think they're
20 to
25. Yeah.
The affordability,
It
Delaware.
really is for a
The
super
accessibility.
high quality show, honestly.
Oh my gosh, this is incrable.
And we got Drama League's got brand new seats.
Yes.
So
You were telling me
your-
about the upgrades to the
yeah,
space.
your butt will be totally comfortable while you're being scared.
Right? Your butt will be comfortable. The rest of you won't
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
That is so excellent. Let's see. So
I was going to bring us, so for our theater
Please.
nerds, tell us about this week is specifically intense because it's called Tech Week. Can you walk us through what exactly that is? You can see it on Joe's face. What exactly that entails? For those that may be watchers of theater and may not have been in it, how hectic is Tech Week?
what a great question.
So this is actually my first main stage performance, because most of, as I mentioned, it was improv. So yesterday we started Tech Week. So it was my first time doing something called Q to Q, which is, for those who don't know, which I did not up until yesterday, was kind of going through the show and making sure you've got all the lighting cues and the sound cues and entrances and exits and things like that. And the show itself is only about 2 hours, but Q to Q yesterday took close to 4.
Yeah.
And it's very time consuming. It can be intense because you've got people talking on headsets and then someone backstage being like, hold, when you're in the
Yes.
middle of a scene. And
It's the first time you're really melding rehearsals. When you're doing regular rehearsals, it's basically for the actors.
Yes.
It's the actors, the directors. You might have some props and stuff, but Q to Q and Tech Day is the first time you're bringing in. We have projections, back projections. We have music. I have a friend of mine, Sean McKean, who wrote original music. So you're putting that in for the first
Wow.
time. You're doing sound and light, and you've got a crew. We have a crew of like 10 backstage. It's only a 2 to 3 person show, but there are 10 people backstage that are busting their humps to get everything happen at the same time. And just everybody starts getting that group think. And
Yes.
we started around like 12:30 in the afternoon. I walked out at 11:30 last night.
Yeah.
And that's the typical.
Did you walk out I feel like you feel so.
I walked out
Your vision
where-
is coming to life.
That and
You're
also
burned
I
out,
need
but also.
to get into bed because there's 3 more days of
Yes.
that intense scrutiny, and it's always amazing. No matter what problems are happening and what issues are going on, Thursday night when you do your preview night and it's up there and you just watch it and people are in the audience and either screaming or laughing or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of humor in this.
Yes.
Very dark.
Very dark humor.
But there's a lot of humor in it, and I usually just stand in the back of the theater and just soak it in and just like, wow, this is what I wanted. It's up there. These people have created it, and it just makes you so happy.
I love that you brought up the number of people who work backstage and all the other elements that go into it, because I think with theater, a lot of people don't realize how technical it is, how many moving parts there are, and that's one of the things that I love the most about it is if you go and see this production of Misery, as Matt and I are going to do, $20 to $25. Super affordable, super comfortable chairs, but what you really get to do is for 2 hours unplug, disconnect from the world outside, and watch a couple dozen people make art for you live, from the people backstage to the people on stage, and you get to experience that with your friends and neighbors. What could be better than screaming with your friends and neighbors?
And remember, Drama League has a bar.
They do have
So-
that.
And a
Yes.
bar.
You can do it with a beer in your hand. So
Before we start, you had told me an interesting fact in the News Journal today. Can you tell our audience?
The News Journal rated the Stephen King novels. Misery is number 6, top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
I'm
We're in
gonna
the
read
top
that.
10.
Excellent. It's a perfect tease. Way to end the show. I love it. So one more time, where can people get tickets?
WilmingtonDramaLeague.org.
Excellent.
And you can order your tickets online. And also on that website, if you want to call and leave a number to pay at the box office, you can do that. The number is online, and I never call the Drama League, so.
because he's always there.
Right. And for those that aren't familiar, it's on the corner of Market and Lee Boulevard, right? So
Well,
plenty
it's up the street
up
from
the street.
Market.
Okay. But yeah, if you haven't been, please check it out. Super quality theater. Having known Joe a while, Joe is very good with his technical aspects of his shows, so it's a treat. Before we go, you guys made it exceptionally hard for Joe, I heard, because you had just an enormous amount of people come out for the show. For people that have 3 roles,
We had
just an enormous amount of people.
37 people came
Yeah,
out.
for 3 roles, which is incredible. Yeah.
There were a lot of
The
a lot of
talent.
no's
That's a
I had
testament to you all,
tell people.
honestly.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Congratulations. My gosh, what an accomplishment to be a part of this. And Joe, I'm so thrilled for you because I know this has been something that you've wanted to do for a long
Love it.
time. So
Absolutely love
I
it.
can't wait to experience it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all for being with us. We hope break legs.
Break
Thank you.
all the
Yes,
legs.
break
well,
all the legs.
we
Oh,
A little too soon.
Our thanks so much to today's guests, for Joe and the cast of Misery here, as well as Dan. And we.